Welcome to the Incred podcast.
As individuals, what makes us unique are our stories and experiences, and that stands true even for brands. So, joining us today is an excellent storyteller who believes in the power of stories that come straight from the heart. She's the founder of Tape a Tale, which is India's prolific storytelling platform that has struck a chord with millions of users across the country. So, please welcome Kopal Khanna. Hi, Kopal. We are very happy to have you here today. Before we begin, could you tell us a bit more about yourself and about your venture, Tape a Tale?
Yeah. Hi, Bhavna. I'm very, very excited to be here. It's it sounds like a really interesting discussion, and I love talking about stories and storytelling. So glad I can be here talking to you. So I am Kopal. Basically, I like to call myself a storyteller and a story finder rather than going like, oh, I'm a co-founder of like a storytelling platform. Which I am. I run this storytelling collective called Tape a Tale, which is basically a storytelling platform for real life stories. So it's a crowdsourced platform where people share their personal stories with us, 5 to 6 minutes long, a slice of life content. It's not really like, it doesn't have to be like an inspiring story. It could be anything. It could be love story, it could be travel story, it could be a friendship story, family, anything. And we try and give as many of these individuals a platform to come and share their stories. So that's what I do. So my primary role is to actually just curate stories and go looking for stories and working with the storytellers and giving them a platform. So that's what I primarily do.
That's indeed very amazing. So since it's all about stories, and you yourself mentioned that you would like to be called as a storyteller, this brings me to my question on so content is everywhere. We're online all the time. We're browsing through content, different kinds of content. So what kind of a role does storytelling play in this entire content gamut ecosystem that we have?
So, yeah, storytelling though is everywhere. Whether you're seeing an advertisement, a TV show, a web show, whether you're listening to a song, whether you're watching like like a Kusha Kapla play a character or a Dolly Singh play a character, it's all storytelling, right? At the end of the day. So I think to understand the core of an emotion, the arc of a character, building a character, building a story, being relatable to the audience, all these things form the basis of how you tell a story. And this is everywhere. So I think every content creator, starting from like a Bhuvan Bam to a Zakir Khan, who's a comedian slash storyteller, everybody's using storytelling. So I think content it's at the very core is where storytelling lies. I think where we step in, or where the current wave of storytelling steps in, is abhi digital storytelling ho gayi hai, which is performance based. So I think I'm sure you've heard of the दास्तान गोई होता है हमेशा से. इतना बहुत ही पुराना आर्ट फॉर्म है इंडिया का ये तो. एंड अभी क्या हुआ है लास्ट 3.5 years से, in the youth, like when I say youth, I mean like 14 to 30 wale age bracket wale log, they've suddenly shown interest in poetry and storytelling in the digital format, in the YouTube space. So and I think why that has happened is that, of course, initially when we also started, I think we were one of the first players to kind of get into this game of the storytelling industry, basically, wherein there's an individual standing in front of a mic and narrating a 5-minute story. And this story is very relatable for the youth. Matlab, it's a story that you and I can, just resonate with. And I think that kind of made it like a very approachable medium where it's relatable. And I feel like, yeah, I can be on that stage as well, performing. And I think that is where the industry kind of started growing. And now 3 years down the line, it's become like a completely different, segment or industry altogether. That's kind of taken shape at this point of time. So I think that's where performance based storytelling is finding its way. But storytelling in general, तो content में हर जगह आता है.
That's so true, actually. But when we come to storytelling for brands per se, how, like, we've seen like Dove is a great example of that, where
Yeah.
it's all about real women, real life stories, right?
Yeah.
So how can brands better leverage storytelling?
So yeah, Dove is a great example, and I think brands have been doing that in the past as well. Like I mean,
Hmm.
like HP का एक बहुत ही popular campaign आया था, Bend the Rules, where
Yes.
they
Yes.
covered like a lot of YouTubers की real life stories and their journeys. I remember Abish Matthew was a part of it.
Hmm.
Mountain Dew का campaign आया था, where they always talk about going on these adventures and stuff, and they finally
Yes.
covered the story of I think Arunima Sinha, where she came and told her real life story. So I think brands realize the value of
Hmm.
the connect a story can have. The emotional
Hmm.
value a story has, I think, no other form of advertisement can really
Okay.
connect with the audience that way. And I think which is why I think more and more brands, like even with Taper Tail, we have realized more and more brands are showing interest, or at least wanting to explore this as a medium, just because of the relatability and how you can actually place their brand in a very real way. It is not a it does not even look like an advertisement. It is like a genuine story that you're sharing, a true story that you're sharing, and through
Right.
that, you're telling people out with their audiences.
Right. So if like I am a marketer, and I'm sure there are many more like me out there. There are content creators, there are brands who are looking to leverage stories in a better format. So if you had to give out some tips in terms of what platforms were, language, tonality, formats, if you just had to come up with a few tips that brands could follow in order to tell stories better or to avoid
Yeah.
certain mistakes, what would you say?
Correct. So see, the thing is, there are multiple platforms right now and the different formats, right? So there is your YouTube, for instance. Then there is Instagram. There is Facebook. There is
Yeah.
a podcast. An audio podcast. So इतने different तरीके हैं to get that story out. And I think for a brand to understand where their audience sits is the most important thing to begin with, right? Like
So
if
true.
like sometimes when a brand comes to me, also the first thing I tell them is that where is your audience? If your audience is sitting on Facebook,
Hmm.
there's no point of me putting up a video on YouTube because there's nothing for you to gain in it, right? And you and Facebook is like a very, and all these platforms, they separate individuals altogether. They have a different audience. YouTube is very massy, Facebook is slightly older audience, Instagram is niche and young audience. um,
Hmm.
Podcast audio is even niche, but there are brands
Yeah.
that fit in that, in that audience format so well, because wahan pe matlab it's exactly the kind of target audience you need. So basically, first thing is to know where your audience is sitting, which platform, and then choose the platform wisely. Second thing that you brought it up was, region. कौन से region में है आपका audience? Can you bring out region specific content? Can you bring out region, which is something actually brands are not doing as much,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we
I
are
agree.
very, very
Mhm.
helpful. Third
Right.
thing I would say is give the creator freedom. I think
Huh.
that is something that brands sometimes fail to do. And I mean, I think now there are definitely brands who are very open to giving creative freedom to whoever is producing that content or creating that content. But अभी भी बहुत सारे traditional brands हैं जो वो नहीं देते हैं, because they have that very typical set model of framework of working. And
Right.
I think as a creator, like as somebody who writes and also somebody who works with multiple creators who write, I understand my audience the best, right? And my aim is, if you are giving me money to sell your brand, I want to also give the best to you, right? Because I want you to come back to me. I want you to
Hmm.
have the best experience, right? So you have to
Hmm.
trust me and my creative instinct, and let me flow with my ideas. Of course, fitting into whatever you demand, but still giving me that creative freedom. So I think that is my third most important. Four things primarily, I would say.
Wow. I think these really help. The tips that you gave. So before we actually get on to conclude our talk, we've spoken about brands and how they can leverage storytelling. But there's also, I feel, individuals like we have, there are working professionals like myself. There are freelancers out there. Um,
how can individuals sort of get into effective storytelling to promote who they are? Um, any advice or any suggestions on that piece?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's this, like, you it's about, you building your brand online basically now.
Yeah,
You need to
yeah.
understand what is it that you want to put out, right? So as Kopal, what is it that I want to put out that would help me a with obviously my business, b engaging whatever number of followers you have. So
Hmm.
the number one tip, as cliche as it sounds, is be authentic. Like, if you
Hmm.
start with putting up some kind of a face, it eventually, you will only get bored of it, right? Like, because how long will you kind of put up a face that show people that you're this person when you're not that person. So be
Right.
as authentic as you can. The other thing is that something that I also learned the very hard way is that, initially I was very skeptical. I was very wary of social media. I was always the kind of person who'd be like, yeah, how much do I put out? I don't want to be
Ah,
vulnerable on social media. I always had that thing, right? So I would always stop myself. But the thing to realize is that if you want to build a brand for yourself online, and if you've decided to put yourself out there, there's nothing halfway. Then you kind of have to learn how to be vulnerable online, and you have to kind of be just look at your people who are following you as as people who are invested in your story.
hmm.
So you have to be as open to them as you possibly can and share with them your life, and that is how they get more and more involved, right? So
Right.
the two things, so these are like just basic things. In terms of like the technicalities, I think one thing that has really worked for us is consistency. you know have a schedule, know what you enjoy doing, and follow it. Just have like, अच्छा मैं मंडे को रात में 8 बजे हर दिन लाइव, हर every week I'm going to go live and I'm going to engage with my audience. So stick to that, and that is how you slowly start building a follower base, and people start knowing that this is okay, this is what she's doing every Monday at 8 o'clock, so let me now tune in and need to just see her face and interact with her. So it takes a lot of effort, and social media is not an easy game. It is very,
So true.
especially because with trolls and so much negativity, is not at all an easy game. So you have to like get into it knowing that all these things await you, and you
Hmm.
still have to do what you have to do.
After I know we discussed brands already. We moved on to individuals, but I just something that I'm curious about is how many times most brands use influencers to sort of push out their products, services. And I have worked with many brands. I've worked in agencies, and they've always come back to me saying, "अरे हम influencer marketing से हमको views मिल जाते हैं, but हमको business नहीं आता." So that is why they'll try it once twice, and then they'll refrain from delving into influencer marketing. what
Hmm.
what what is your suggestion on this? Does it work, does it not work? What should one look for with the whole influencer piece person?
Yeah, I to feel like marketing is slowly, actually at a pretty steady rate, becoming an influencer game. That is what's happening. And I mean, that has been the case since ages. Like, if an Amitabh Bachchan talks about, I mean, it's not really like a advertisement. Like, if you talk about marketing, talks about polio, and like, one day your nation is polio free. Who is Amitabh
Uh,
Bachchan? He's an influencer at the end of the day, right? So now you're
so
talking
true,
about
yeah.
digital influencers.
Hmm.
So people, in especially, I feel like, I mean, it's true everywhere, but I feel like especially India, people have this thing, right? They have this thing of looking up to people, and there's so much fandom. People are crazy about idolizing people, and it is what it is. That
Yeah.
is how we function so far, right? So I
Yeah.
think India, maybe especially digital marketing, is the new, I mean, it's been around for a while, but especially digital marketing, I think, is like gonna, like, really, like, I feel like it's gonna really blow up very soon. It's
Hmm.
already happening,
It
and
is, yeah.
I don't agree actually to the fact that people don't end up buying products when influencers market them. it really depends on who you're going for, and if you've selected the person right, if you've selected
Yeah.
that right person, I think it will make all the difference. And I think now people are being so creative, like I think 2 years back kya ho raha tha, swipe up and buy this product, here, this is the, but now people are being so creative about even the putting their swipe ups or putting like a reel or an IGTV video, that it's actually enjoyable content, and it's not just, hey, swipe up to buy this product. They've
It is
actually
so true.
weaved their marketing and brand work into their creative space, which is great, which is how it should be. And I think I think it's working, and which is why I think more and more brands are slowly getting into the space of digital marketing now.
So true. And then plus we have brands like yours, which, deliver really authentic and interesting stories. So I think that's also an amazing space to be in.
Yeah, I think
Right.
with Tapetain, we rest in like a very, I mean, I love the space that we're in because it's real life stories. So it's very
Yeah.
authentic, very relatable. And it's really fun to actually also work with brands, because then you're getting those stories out of, actual real life people. We're not even talking about influencers per se, These are
Yeah.
brands who
Yeah.
are, reaching out to everyday, if I may say, like the non-popular people, right? And they are kind of becoming, their ordinary stories are getting a stage and helping a brand market their product in an authentic way. And so I love working on these campaigns, because it's so much fun to get those stories. And I think even the brands enjoy it. Like we did a campaign with McCafe recently, where they wanted to get stories of people who've like met somebody over coffee, or who've had like a beautiful experience while sharing coffee with somebody. And we launched this entire campaign, and we got such beautiful stories out of it,
Right.
where a father daughter bonded over coffee, and they shared a story. Somebody met somebody for the first time over coffee, and how they eventually end up getting married. There's so many beautiful stories that come out.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's great. So I think, in fact, it's a good thing that with social media being everywhere, there are more opportunities for people to tell their stories and brands to sort of leverage that. So I think that's very beautiful. But before we sort of end the podcast, are there absolutely any parting thoughts, any concluding thoughts that you would like to leave everyone with?
Yeah, actually, I would just like to end on maybe, I think when we were talking earlier also, just like discussing the power of storytelling, right? Like, I think unless there's something specific you want me to address, I would just love to also share a story with you, right?
Yeah.
So, and I want to share this just because, we're discussing storytelling, and, if you don't talk about the impact it can have on people, I think it's incomplete, right? The entire conversation. So,
Agreed. Yeah.
so there's one story that actually happened. It's a real life story. It happened 2 weeks back. I got a call from one of my storytellers. His name is Rakesh Tiwari. He's very popular storyteller. Share a bunch of stories on our platform. And
Mm-hmm.
he called me saying that he received a call from like a 60-year-old guy randomly one day. And he's like, okay. And so they get on a call, and the guy, the 65-year-old man, basically says thank you to him. And Rakesh bhai is like, why are you thanking me? And this guy goes like, so basically around 15 years back, I lost my wife.
Oh.
And when I lost my wife, for some reason, my son started blaming me for her death, in the sense that I did not take enough care of her. And हमने 15 सालों से एक दूसरे से ढंग से बात नहीं करी है, उन्होंने और उनके बेटे ने. एंड हम लोग आईपीएल देख रहे थे यूट्यूब पे, एंड देन वो रेकमेंडेड वीडियोस में सडनली एक टेपटेल का वीडियो आ गया, जिसमें आपने कहानी सुनाई थी आपके और आपके पापा के बारे में. एंड वो स्टोरी चलने लग गई सामने, तो हम लोग ने सोचा चलो देख लेते हैं. एंड व्हेन दैट स्टोरी गॉट ओवर, आई डोंट नो व्हाट हैपेंड, वी वर बोथ क्राइंग, एंड आई गॉट अप एंड वेंट टू माय रूम. And just 2 minutes later, my son came in and he hugged me.
Wow.
And he's like, 15 साल में पहली बार मेरे बेटे ने मेरे को गले लगाया because he heard your story.
Wow.
And we had a
That's
heart-to-heart
amazing.
conversation. So that is the impact of like a 5-minute story. So there's so much beauty in it, right? There's so much beauty in the art that it has so much of venture into and explore, because it has so much potential.
Okay, great, Gopal. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bhavna.